Ms. Raymer never failed to make sure each and every one of her students felt loved and included in everything, including kids that she never even had. I always remember her making sure that every single kid understood each and everything that we learned in class, and I'll love her forever. And I just want to let everyone know, her friends, her family, that I'm praying for you guys and that I love all of you.
Mrs. Raymer was one of the most kind-hearted people I've ever met. She always cared about everyone, no matter the circumstances, and always went out of her way to try and help in any way she could, tried to comfort people a lot. She was just a really sweet woman. Her and her family will always be forever in my prayers.
Okay, so my favorite memory of Miss Raymer was probably when I made the worst test grade of my life. I made a 55 on a test. It was by far the most heartbreaking and depressing thing I had faced as an 8th grader, but she worked with me, let me retest, got me back on track, and made 100 on the retest. So
I think my favorite memory with Miss Raymer was in 8th grade. We would always have tutoring, and you could either go to tutoring or you could go to different classes. And every time I'd have to go to tutoring because I would never do my homework, and she would always sit me down and make me do my homework and make me learn it. And that was the reason I passed her class. She made me learn everything I needed to know and wouldn't let me leave until I learned it. I actually think I had more fun learning math in there with her than I did anywhere else. Thank you, Ms. Raymer.
Ms. Raymer was the most special person that I've ever come in contact with. She made sure that whenever she met somebody, she made sure that she made an impact on their life in some way, shape, or form. And she thought about how everybody else would feel before she thought about her own feelings. And that's something that I really admire in her. We love Ms. Raymer.
One of the things that I love the most about Ms. Raymer is that she didn't just have an impact on a few of her students. She was close to literally every student. And I think that that's really great to have in a teacher, because I don't think there's a single person out there who didn't love her and that she didn't love it in return. So I just really miss you, Ms. Raymer. We love you.
Hey, Ms. Raymer, I just want to say thank you for all that you did for me, and thank you for always being there when I needed you. Love you and miss you so, so much.
Miss Raymer was one of the kindest and most genuine people I ever had the pleasure of knowing. Her spirit and her light in and out of the classroom brought a lot of joy to everyone who knew her. And she was so loved and inspiring, and I'm so grateful that I had a chance to know her.
I would just like to say thank you very much, Mrs. Raymer, for being one of the best algebra teachers I've ever had, and that I love you very much. You and your family will be in my prayers.
One day, we walk into class, and Miss Raymer has this huge smile on her face. She stands up and tells us, "Today, I'm going to teach you something that you'll never forget for the rest of your life." Then she proceeds to show a group of 8th grade Algebra 1 students a video called Slope Dude. If you ever had Miss Raymer, you know all about Slope Dude. She told us that she was going to teach us something that we would never forget for the rest of our life. But Miss Raymer, you did that every day. You taught us things that we will never forget. We love you, we miss you, but we will see you again one day. Thank you for everything, Mrs. Raymer.
So the thing that I love most about Miss Raymer was her big heart. She had a love for teaching and a love for her students like I've never ever experienced before. And you could just tell when you walked into her room by the giant smile on her face that she absolutely loved what she was doing and she wouldn't trade it for the world. And I think that we loved that about her because it made us feel so special. She had a way of making each one of us feel like her family. That's what made her so special, is she had the biggest heart, she was so kind, and she had the most beautiful soul. I love you, Miss Raymer. I miss you so much, and I'm praying for your family.
I really enjoyed having Mrs. Raymer as my teacher back in 8th grade. She made a really big impact on my life and the lives of the rest of my classmates. I just wanted to let her know that I'll be praying for her and her family. Thank you, Mrs. Raymer.
One of the many things about Miss Raymer that I loved was that she was always there for me when I needed her. She was there for me when I needed tutoring, when I needed someone to talk to, when I just needed time in general. She made time for every student, whether it be concerning math or their personal lives, and I will always be grateful for that. So we love you, Miss Raymer.
Miss Raymer wasn't only our teacher, but she was also our friend. I transferred in her class halfway through 8th grade year after moving from a different school, and I just remember how welcoming she was to me. She made me feel at home from the second I walked in, and that's all a 13-year-old girl wants when she's starting a completely new environment, just to feel welcome. I remember she would spend extra time with me to help me catch up whenever I was really behind because I transferred, or she would even just stay after to talk to me and ask me how I was doing, just someone that cared. It just really meant a whole lot. I think one of her most important lessons she ever taught us, it was a joke at the time I think, is whenever somebody would drop a calculator, she'd always say, and this is why we can't have nice things. And as funny and silly as that little saying was, it's really stuck with me to this day. I still say it. Beyond that, her faith in God has truly been beyond inspiration to me, especially as a young girl in college. It's just really inspiring to see somebody with that faith, and I desire to one day be like that. So, Miss Raymer, we love you, we miss you, we thank you so much for the support and love you gave us over all these years.
You're very missed, Miss Raymer. We love you.
Thanks for being the best math teacher.
Miss Raymer, I just want to say thank you for being someone I could look up to in every aspect of my life. Thank you for showing me that Jesus is bigger than cancer, and I'm really jealous that you're up there partying with him while I'm stuck here at college, but that's okay, I guess. I love you, and I can't wait to see you soon.
But she wasn't only an amazing teacher, she was an amazing person. My favorite moments in her class were she'd come to school the next day and she'd be all dirty and have bruises on her, battle scars, and be like, Miss Raymer, what happened to you? And she would be like, oh yeah, I was playing ultimate frisbee and dove over this. Just crazy. Thank you, Mrs. Raymer.
My favorite memory of Miss Raymer is definitely the book project incident, and for some reason I thought this project was the hardest project known to man. Obviously it wasn't, but I took it home, couldn't figure it out, so I decided to be defiant and show up to her class with it half done, just having a breakdown. I figured she was going to be mad at me, she was going to give me a really bad grade, but the complete opposite happened. She sat down with me, she said, Aubin, I believe in you, this is unlike you, I know you can do this, so you're going to sit here and finish this project because I know you can. So I ended up finishing it, and it's just crazy because it's not what I expected, it's not what I deserved, but that's just Miss Raymer, and that's who she is, so thank you, Miss Raymer.
Hi Miss Raymer, it's Kaya. I just wanted to say I love you, and I miss you, and I'm praying for you, and I hope everything is better soon. Bye!
One of the things I will always remember about Miss Raymer is how you could literally go to her for everything. If you needed help with homework, if you were just having a tough day, she would do her best to help you out. She was so kind, so loving, so welcoming, and she made such a huge impact on the students of DHS and SMS. I love you, Miss Raymer, and you and your family are in my prayers.
We miss you, Miss Raymer.
Thank you for showing us how to be kind in most difficult situations.
Raymer strong!
What I remember most about Mrs. Raymer was that she didn't just walk us through life, she walked with us. She invested in so much more than herself, into her husband, into her church, into students that she didn't even teach. And what really stands out to me is that even though we rallied behind her since the start of her diagnosis, she had already been rallying behind all of us. I love you guys, and that we're praying over the family here, all the way from Abilene Christian. I know she would be proud of each of her students where they are now, and one day we'll get to see her again.
My love for Miss Raymer is almost as strong as her love for Hot Cheetos. I remember when I was in 8th grade and I went to Sam's to buy her a bulk of Hot Cheetos for her birthday. She was one of my favorite teachers because not only was she a good algebra teacher, but she was funny, caring, and outgoing. She always had a funny story to tell to brighten the mood. And she always motivated you to be better. And that still helps me to this day. Thank you, Miss Raymer.
Miss Raymer, you were one of a kind. You taught me what it's like to not give up. You showed me that you believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. My favorite memory with you is the day that you got my STAR results back. You ran to my English class and pulled me out into the hallway and picked me up off the ground and told me how proud you were of your Kayla. And, even though your golden heart might have stopped beating here, your legacy will forever live on. I want to say thank you for being such a good, strong woman of faith. You have definitely inspired me in that way. You have showed everyone what a true fighter looks like. You never gave up on anyone yourself, and definitely you never gave up on your students. Thank you so much, and you will forever be missed, and you are so, so loved.
One of my favorite things I'll remember about Miss Raymer is the love she showed her students. No matter who you were, she always treated you with kindness and compassion, and she genuinely wanted you to succeed, even outside of her class. We'll miss you, Miss Raymer.
Alright, so my favorite thing about Miss Raymer has to be her patience. I would go into her classroom every single day during track time. I'd ask about the homework that was due literally the period right after that, and she would always help me with it. It did not matter how long it took her to explain it. She would do it until I got it, and it's always stuck with me, like how much she cared about me and how badly she wanted me to learn, and she's been my favorite teacher ever since. I also just want to let her family and her friends know that I'm praying for you guys. We're all praying for you guys.
Hey, Miss Raymer, we love you. Undefined!
One of my favorite things about Miss Raymer was that she always had a smile that would light up the room every time anyone would walk in, and she did everything in her power to help everyone that she came in contact with and make sure that they went home with a smile on their face. And she was such a special woman, and she will always be loved.
I love you, Miss Raymer, and it breaks my heart that I'm making this video, but I'm praying for your family, and I'm so glad that you're able to be pain-free and that you're dancing around us in heaven. I love you.
Miss Raymer, there's so many things I could say about this woman. She was my math teacher, but she definitely taught me a lot more than that. She came to class every day with a smile on her face and love in her heart, and she was not afraid to show that. I'm forever grateful for everything that she has done for me up to this day. I would also like to say thank you to her family. She has the most supportive family in the world. I will keep you guys in my prayers, and I love y'all.
Miss Raymer, I really don't know where to start, but I'm so thankful that I got to be in your class and I got the privilege of knowing you. But I'm so grateful and thankful that you helped us through one of the toughest times that we ever had to go through. And you were there and you held our hand and you hugged us and you let us cry on your shoulder. And I really don't know how I would have gotten through that without you by our side. And I'm just so happy and thankful. And I'm so happy that you're healed now. And
Hey, Miss Raymer, I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you've done for me and everyone else that you've had. You've impacted so many people's lives, and we all miss you very much, but we know that you're in a much better place. We love you and miss you. See you soon. Thank you, Miss Raymer.
Thank you for everything, Mrs. Raymer.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Raymer.
Thank you so much.
See, we thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Raymer.
Thank you, Mrs. Raymer.
Thank you, Miss Raymer.
Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not to harm, plans for hope and a future." And that's exactly what you did, Miss Raymer. You provided every single one of your students with so much hope, and you made us feel like we did have a future and that we were more than enough, and we just wanted to say thank you for that.
On the waters,